If you're thinking about moving to Houston but don't know if it's for you, then this video is what you need to watch. In this video, I'll discuss some of the important pros about Houston as well as some very serious cons to help you make the decision. First biggest things, and I'm sure you probably heard about it, is Houston's flooding. Houston has hurricane season, which starts around June 1st and goes into somewhere in October. And we just get a lot of rain. I can't, say any other way. So knowing this, you have to make sure that the areas that you're gonna move into are not in flood zones. The great thing is there's the FEMA flood map where you can actually put in the address of the home that you're purchasing or you plan on purchasing in, and then you can see if that home is in a flood zone. So you wanna kind of avoid the flood zones. There are different pockets all over. And even sometimes when you're outside of a flood zone, you may get a little bit more rain than you would like, but you should not have to flood. Also, knowing this, some of the areas with flood zones require the home to be raised, or it will require mandatory flood insurance. If your home is not in a flood zone, then flood insurance is just an option. So just keep that in mind, that we have a serious 3-month span of where we get rain maybe once a week minimum, and then we probably get maybe 1 or 2 serious storms. Now, don't let that scare you away. Millions of people live in Houston comfortably, but it's just something that you need to know and consider. Now I want to talk about the heat and humidity. Starting around June up until maybe September, we can have weeks of being at 100 degrees or higher. So what you want to know is you will not be outside often, and if you are, it's going to be in the evenings. So having 100 degrees, you start recognizing and understanding you want to be where air conditioning is, which every place has air conditioning, so it's not like a issue or anything. But if you don't like hot weather and you are somebody that likes to be outside, just understand that between maybe July and September, you're probably only going to want to go outside in the evenings. Also keep in mind with this temperature and weather, then in the summer, your electricity bills are a little bit higher than usual. Outside of that, I enjoy the weather. I enjoy having air conditioning. I have appreciation of air conditioning, so it's not a concern for me at all. I've lived here since 2011 and I love it, and the heat does not do anything, especially seeing that I came from Michigan where it was extreme cold. Now I want to talk about traffic. Since 2020, a lot of people moved to Houston because it was just a place to be when COVID and a lot of other places were shut down. The con of that is we have a lot more traffic than we once had. So you have areas like Galleria, 610, I-10, Beltway 8 that sometimes get a lot of traffic from, let's say, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. as well as 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And it's going to be a lot of heavy traffic. So you want to always make sure that if you're looking to purchase, that you know exactly where you're working at, so that you can kind of have a home in that area, so that you can maybe be 15, 20 minutes away, so that you don't have to deal with this long traffic. Other than that, the traffic is not too bad if you do not have to go across town. But if you have to go across town, a typical 30-minute drive may take 45, 50 to even an hour to get there during traffic. So all in all, Houston is spread out. Make sure that your home is close or at least near where you work. Next, I want to talk about public transportation. Public transportation in Houston is not like in other major cities such as New York or Chicago. Public transportation here typically goes from the medical center to downtown, but as far as taking it from home to work, you'll need a car. So you definitely want to keep in mind that you will need a vehicle if you plan on living in Houston, because public transportation is just not something that you can just hop on and get from one place to the other easily. Now let's talk about some of the important pros that you should consider. Houston's home affordability is everything. The average home in Houston sells for about $345,000 compared to the national average of $440,000. What that means is you're going to get more bang for your buck. You can do 2 things knowing this. You can either get a larger home than what you could elsewhere, or you can have a new construction home with the same square footage and save money. So keep that in mind, that buying a home is much cheaper here than in the area, and you'll have a lot of opportunities for new construction versus having to buy an older home. Next, I want to talk about a strong job market. Houston has one of the largest medical centers, and we have a lot of medical careers and opportunities in the medical industry. We also have a large oil and gas industry as well as energy. So there is plenty of job opportunities for anyone out here, as well as the multiple other industries that you can consider. So finding a job usually isn't the hard thing to do. So if you're looking for employment, I'm pretty sure you can reach out even before you were to move here and find steady employment that actually pays well, especially for the cost of living in Houston. Now I want to talk about diversity. Houston is a very diverse city. You have people from all over the world living here. You have communities of all different types of people all over Houston, as well as an amazing food scene. So you have all different types of food. The food is amazing. I compare Houston, probably my number one or number two, any given day compared to maybe a Chicago. I think that you would definitely love how diverse it is and how every single day you can choose a different type of food if you chose to and enjoy it. So definitely want to say that diversity is one of the biggest things that Houston has. The next biggest thing a lot of people like is no state income tax. No state income tax is pretty much obvious, right? More money that's keeping your pocket. So for high income earners, that's something that you definitely want to consider, is that you don't have to pay state income tax. Now I want to talk about some of the things to do. Houston has a lot of things to do. If you're into sports, as you know, Houston has the Rockets, the Astros, the Houston Texans. If you're into doing things outside, we have a lot of natural parks, such as Herman, which is one of my favorites, as well as Memorial Park. We have tons of concerts that are constantly happening, comedy venues. And then everybody knows Houston has the biggest livestock rodeo, which comes once a year for about 3 to 4 weeks, which I highly recommend everybody to attend. So all in all, Houston has a lot of different entertainment and things to do. You'll never get bored. Another thing I like is the central location. In Houston, you'll be close to either one of two airports that we have. We have Hobby Airport that's on the south, and then we have George Bush Airport that's on the north. So getting out of Houston for a quick weekend getaway on a flight, you'll be centrally located. We're also just a few hours away from Dallas, Texas, as well as a few hours away from Austin, Texas. So if you ever need to do like a weekend drive just to kind of get away, you have that opportunity. So definitely a central place out of all of the main cities inside of Texas that offers you everything you need. Not to mention, you're only maybe an hour away from Galveston if you are into the beach. So all in all, Houston is an amazing place to live. I've been here since 2011. I have no intentions of leaving. It's an amazing place. I'm never bored here. The weather doesn't really bother me. I am not in a flood zone, so I've never had to deal with any type of flooding. I absolutely love it. I purchased a home, let's say 8 years ago for $125,000. That's now worth right under $400,000. So the appreciation is there for anybody that's looking to move and purchase a home. So just keep that in mind. The affordability is there. Yeah, I absolutely just love it to live in Houston, and I think that you would too. So if you have any questions about the home buying process or about relocating in Houston, please comment below. Otherwise, you can look at the link in my bio to where I break down how you can contact me, either email or you can schedule a time to speak with me. And like and subscribe for more videos just like this about living in Houston and moving to Houston, as well as purchasing a home.